bros. Hey, hello everyone. Let's take a good breath. Let's get ready for a new class of awesome Siddhi. And let's focus on Maja, the one from last week. The bone marrow. So we prepare ourselves with the bone marrow Siddhi so that we can make a link to the Siddhi of this week. Maja, the bone marrow, which provides a support for our mind to be positive, physically bone marrow, so good bones and good immune system. Maja, Siddhi meditation from last week. Maja. I will move this a bit. It's not better. Good. You guys are happy? You enjoy life? Positive mind? Nothing negative ever comes to you? We all do what we do best. We all do our best. Yeah. We should also do what we do best, although. The Siddhi of this week sounds a bit weird. SnAyu. 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 Okay. SnAyu in the dictionary is the tendons and the ligaments. Okay. So now that we've done bone marrow, and it also concerns the bone, Maja, we're doing tendons and ligaments. For those of you who don't know, the difference between a tendon and a ligament. A tendon attaches a muscle to a bone. Okay? That's a tendon. And a ligament attaches a bone to a bone. Okay? So the ligaments are there to keep our bones joint tight with a cartilage to manage the impact, so that the bones are well connected and stay connected. These are the ligaments. The tendons join our bone with muscles so that we can apply force on the bones. Okay? SnAyu is the tendon and the ligament because it is made of the same kind of matter, more or less. And they all work in the same principle of allowing bones to receive force from the muscle to apply force on the environment. And it allows us to move. Okay? So when muscles contract, they pull on a bone. So the bone hinges somewhere because bones are rigid. And the hinge is held together by the ligaments. Okay. In English, we also say sinew, but I don't know if there's a word in French or English or Spanish for that. In French, we either say tendon or ligament. We never say something else. Okay. So the Siddhi SnAyu refers to tendons and ligaments, and the property is almost no elasticity, but lots of flexibility. Okay? So the tendons are not elastic. The tendons don't pull and contract. They're very flexible to follow the motion of the muscle and the bone, but they don't have elasticity to stretch. It is the muscles that stretch. The muscles can stretch and contract, so the muscles have elasticity. Okay? The tendons and the ligaments do not have elasticity. Well, they have some, but barely compared to the muscle. But they are still very flexible to allow the bones to move how they need. Okay? This is the Sanskrit concept of SnAyu. What is the equivalent in the mind? Okay, so we studied last week that we have strong structures, but inside our strong structures, our bones, they're based on a soft potential that is malleable, and the healthier is our inner core of our bones, the healthier is our bones and our entire system. Same with the mind. If our mind is only brick, it's not very healthy and we become negative. And if our mind is spongy and malleable, like the marrow, then we are positive. So that was Astimaja last week. This week, SnAyu. Let's study the Siddhi SnAyu, okay? Some of you have practiced other methods with me and you heard the word Naya many times. The path, okay? Rishinaya, the holy path. Vajranaya, to behave with the Vajra intensity, okay? Naya is a behavior, a way to go somewhere, okay? It is a path, not only a road on the ground, but a path like a way of living. When you say, this is my path, and you're philosophically speaking of a way of life, okay? So that is Naya. In the Siddhi SnAyu, Naya becomes Nayu, which means to experience the path. And the S before it gives it power. S is about power and application of force. Okay? So SnAyu is the power to experience the path. Okay? In Bija analysis. So it's beautiful and it is poetic. Okay? SnAyu is the power to live through the Naya. Okay? SnAyu. Let's bring this back to the physical plane. The ligaments hold our bone joints together, and the tendons allow the muscle to apply force on the bones so we can walk, we can move, we can take an object. SnAyu, the power to experience the path, physically became the ability to move our structures. The bones are not flexible, but the SnAyu is, the tendons and the ligaments. The tendons and the ligaments do not have elasticity. Let's bring this to the mind. Having no elasticity but being flexible, what does it mean? If your mind is too elastic, it means that an external force can pull you and push you how they want. Elasticity is good to have a minimum to be tolerant to your environment, but too much elasticity means the nature can do whatever it wants with you. People can do whatever they want with you. They can pull you, stretch you, spread you, do whatever they want. Okay? So in the SnAyu, this absence of elasticity, there's a little, but not much, very, very little. It allows you to have just this tolerance with the others, but you are the one who decides when you move and how you move. And while we have no elasticity, We cannot be manipulated. We are very flexible. We can turn in any direction. We can twist and bend to manage the pressure, but we cannot be stretched. Okay? So we cannot be pulled outside of ourselves. The practice of the Siddhi SnAyu will make you contained in your principles, the positive, higher principles that you cultivated with the Asti Maja. The SnAyu is the next step, and it keeps you centered on your own values. You're the one in charge, because it starts with S. It's your power. Right? The power to experience the path means you are on that path by your own will. People can't manipulate you, but you can't blame others for what they are. You are who you are. You want to feel and believe that you are who you are. You want to embrace that power. You must respect that others can do the same with themselves, especially when they don't share the same opinions as you regarding various matters. Politics, the vaccine, the war. To find your power requires that you accept that others have their power. A Siddhi is not ever, it's never just for you. It's a principle to embrace. And once you embrace that principle, you have to embrace it for others, or accept that the others may also embrace it. Okay? So SnAyu is you are tolerant, so you have a tiny bit of elasticity. You have a high level of flexibility. You are adaptive. But you are not a victim. You cannot be used or manipulated. You are in charge. And you have the power to apply force on your environment. SnAyu is this ability of your tendons to transmit a force from your muscles, which is your will inside, into your bones, which is your thought structures, your knowledge and your experience of knowledge. Right? So like the previous Siddhi last week, the Siddhi has an effect on the physical body and in the mind. SnAyu. Do not confound with the English SnAyu. It just happens to be close in the way it's said. The Siddhi is SnAyu, the power to experience the path. We'll do the muscles next week. It's going to be fun. We should do muscle next week. Now we've done bone marrow. We have not done a Siddhi for the bones themselves, but we have done Asti Maja, and there's bone in there, and it's kind of the entire entity of the bone, focus on the marrow. That's Asti Maja. And SnAyu is not just tendons or ligaments, it's both. Sorry, I just said don't confuse the English SnAyu, and I just did. SnAyu. Sorry about that. SnAyu is that matter that holds you together, that makes you tolerant but not weak. It has a strength of your articulations, and the tendons can apply force on these bones of yours. The practice of SnAyu will make your physical tendons and ligaments stronger. It will bring the equivalent in the mind. A little elasticity, just a bit, lots of flexibility, and the ability to apply force. SnAyu. If you feel used or abused by others, do personal growth. And remember that you're the one in charge of your life. You are the one who decides what you're going to do. Of course, if you collaborate with other humans, you'll have compromise to do. If you want something from someone, you have to give them something in exchange. A family, a business, or a night out with friends. We all decide to be flexible and adapt to what the others want. So it's okay to have that exchange, and we don't always have what we want. But that has to be your choice. I decide that I will compromise this or that way so that I can maintain the relationship. See, it's not someone else who forces you to do whatever they want and you accept, you say yes because you don't want to lose them. Do you understand the difference? You exist by yourself, by your own power. And you decide to collaborate with this world because it's the world you have. Sometimes, there's no choice. You live in the society you live. You can't suddenly decide that you will do something else. Okay? You're going to start taking money at the bank that is not yours. Yeah, that's theft. You can't decide to say, I do whatever I want. SnAyu should not be used to become an anarchist. Do you understand what I mean? You're still in the world. The flexibility part, the adaptivity part of the SnAyu. It's very important. But you have that power to move, to go forward on your path. You have that power. That power is not rigid. No, it's flexible. And that is SnAyu. Right. Let's practice SnAyu for a minute. Think about your physical tendons and ligaments. SnAyu. 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 And in the mind, I have power, but I'm flexible. I'm tolerant. I'm not available to be used or abused, but I compromise. I collaborate. It's a choice. SnAyu. The more I let go of greed, the more harmony there is in those relationships. SnAyu. I'm the one in charge of my life. I'm the one who moves. SnAyu. I have the power to experience the path. Whatever the path is, doesn't matter now. It's very abstract anyway. The path. Deep breath. Now we're going to have a little rush of SnAyu by doing one mala. If you do not have a mala, doesn't matter. Just do it as long as we're doing it. SnAyu, 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 SnAyu. You SnAyu, 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 SnAyu. SnAyu, 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 SnAyu. SnAyu, 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 SnAyu. SnAyu, 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 SnAyu. SnAyu, 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 SnAyu. SnAyu, 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 SnAyu. SnAyu, 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 SnAyu. SnAyu, 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 SnAyu. SnAyu, 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 SnAyu. SnAyu, 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 SnAyu. SnAyu. I have the power to experience the path. I'm in charge. I willingly collaborate while I am comfortable to collaborate. I'm the one in charge of me, not others, just of me. SnAyu. And the nice physical effect, my tendons, ligaments are strong and not inflamed. They're healthy, balanced. They have the power to experience the path. SnAyu. Thank you, Raven, for the comments. Thank you all for watching. Enjoy the week. See you next week for the Muscle City.